Originally, the architect came for us for a brief for the landscaping, and we talked about the materials of the building and how the building would look. And so the brief was really to try and integrate the building into the landscape, and then from the actual site itself into the wider landscape. So that was the main brief that we started with, and from that point on we then developed a series of materials that we were going to use within the scheme. One of the important elements, obviously, in the architectural design of the building was the core 10 that wraps around the building, and we wanted to introduce this into the landscape and bleed it out. And as you'll see, we've got these core 10 structures that go out into the landscape, and that sort of links the building immediately into the landscape via those core 10 structures. Associated with that is these fantastic stones that we've got around the building. And again, you can see how these have got the natural feel, but as you go towards the entranceway, how those are then honed down into those polished pebbles, which are the seating by the entranceway, and then go into the terrazzo floor within inside the building. So you've got this transition from the more natural product going into the smoother product and then into the building. So you can see how the landscape is sucked into the building, but also with the core 10 going out. So you've got this vice versa thing going on, and that's probably one of the major elements that works so well on this project. So one of the advantages of being in this location, it was the existing country park. The use of the ha-ha to allow views into the country park, and the creation of informal paths by just mowing within the existing grassland, and the creation of furthermore formal paths that we've developed within the country park, allows the site to be connected to the existing footpath network. This is a fantastic resource, not only for the well-being of those employed on the site, but also for local residents and those that use the country park already. And this country park is actually part of a long linear walkway which goes through this section of Solihull and Shirley and connects to Blythe Valley and beyond. So it's a fantastic resource, and with all the trees and stuff behind, really helps the well-being of those employed on the site. One of the elements of the scheme was the sustainable drainage system that's been incorporated within the scheme. And obviously you can see we're sitting by a lake in the front. This has got several purposes, the lake. One of them is of a reflective pool, and you can see on today's like today the lovely reflections that you actually get off the water. We are very close to the motorway here, and one way to mask motorway noise is by the introduction of water, which then creates its own noise. Now this has sort of like a white noise effect, so it doesn't actually screen or mask the traffic noise, but it does mentally give you a different sense of feeling. Humans are intrinsically attracted to water features, and they do give a calming influence. So one of the things we wanted to do was when you drive up to the site that you weren't aware that this feature would be here, and then as you drive around the corner, it opens up in front of you, not only the building, but the water feature, and really sets off that entrance to the building. And again, it's all those natural elements. It's the stone, it's the water, it's the planting. All of these are natural elements which help to go into the building and locate it within the landscape. What's my favourite part of the landscape is really, really difficult, because each area, when we designed it, was to be slightly different. So in a way, I love them all, and actually as time goes on, they also change. I obviously love the lake, but I also actually like the area to the rear of the building, which was in design terms very difficult because it was always going to be in shade, but it's turned out to be a really peaceful area, and I actually quite like that. So, but then I like the area between the Christian Vision building and the service yard. That's worked out really well. So to say which part, and then the gatehouse again, that's worked out really well. So yeah, it's really difficult to say which bit I like. And actually, the ha-ha was one of the first elements that went in to the landscaping scheme. And when that was done, that was my favourite part. And unfortunately, you don't really see it from this side. You only see it from the other side. And you get the full effect of it from the other side. But then that's the whole idea of the ha-ha. You're not really supposed to know it's there. So yeah, I can't, in all honesty, say which is my favourite part, because I love them all and they're all different. And hopefully we manage to make them link together. But as you go round the site, you see something different, and hopefully that gives everybody who comes to the site a journey of their own. I've worked with IM Properties now for probably about 25 years. And one of the most exciting things I find about IM is that they're actually open to ideas. Although they have an image or a picture that they want at the end, that they are prepared to listen to how we put forward some of our proposals. And actually that's quite refreshing. The other thing is they are prepared to allow us to explore our own designs. And you can see when you go around the landscape, some of the fantastic shrubs and plants that we've actually managed to procure. And this is only because of the freedom that IAM have given us. A lot of clients don't allow us to procure plant material so early on in a project. I mean, we've had about 2 years to get this material together, and that's quite rare in the project. But I think you can see the advantage of doing that. We have some fantastic specimen plants that have come in here, some pre-grown clip plants, and that gives a sense of maturity to the scheme, so that when it opens on day one, that you feel that the landscape has been there for quite a while. And that's been a real privilege. And I only get that very occasionally with some clients, and certainly Jason and Madge have really helped me and encouraged me. And it's nice, as the scheme develops, to get the occasional pat on the back. And that encourages you to just push that a bit more and to take things a bit further.